How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some mysterious historical events that no one can quite explain. So strap yourself in, hit that subscribe button and get ready for more mysterious content. Just like this. Imagine digging a well so deep that it breaks into hell. Well, some think it has happened before. In 1989, Trinity Broadcasting Network, a radio show, reported on the well to hell for the first time. The well comes from an urban legend in Russia that asserts the drilling of a well so deep that it actually went all the way to hell. The legend goes that Mr. Azakov, leading a team of engineers, drilled a hole somewhere in Siberia, going as deep as 14.4 kilometers or around 8.9 miles down. While drilling, they broke into a cavity which piqued their interest. The team lowered a microphone which was heat tolerant and other sensory equipment down into the hole. The equipment showed the temperature to be 1000 degrees Celsius, which is around 1832 Fahrenheit. However, the microphone seemed to pick up something a little more unsettling than high temperature. It sounded like screaming voices coming from the middle of Earth. Here's a sample.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
It's said that the miners all went insane and started fighting each other. When a secondary team arrived to help with the drilling, they discovered the camp in disarray, and the first squad of miners were missing. A Finnish newspaper named Amenasastia reported the story for the first time. After that, American tabloids picked up the news and it spread like wildfire. Trinity Broadcasting Network is a Christian network that quickly took up the story and said it was proof of the existence of hell. While he was visiting the US, a Norwegian teacher, Arge Rendellen, said that the story was merely a product of people's gullibility. He later wrote to Trinity Broadcasting giving his point of view. Interestingly, he went back to Norway and read another account of the story which was supposedly factual. The story said that the well was cursed and quite real. Also, it said a bat-like creature, which could be associated with a demon, flew out of the well and blazed across the sky. Trinity Broadcasting didn't do anything to verify whether it was a hoax or not and ran the story. Later, many versions of the same story were heard around the US. For instance, in 1992, Weekly World News published the same storyline but with a different location. According to this story, the incident took place in Alaska, where Satan climbed out of the well and killed 13 miners. Today, you can find the horrific retelling of the story on many YouTube videos that also have the infamous tormented sounds. However, it was later revealed that the sound effects were taken from different sources, with Barren Blood, a 1972 horror movie, being the most prominent source. Just when these sounds were injected into the urban legend remains a mystery. In 1983, the CIA wrote a very bizarre report called the Gateway Report that claimed an altered state of consciousness can be the gateway to astral projection. In 2003, the report was declassified and has since fueled conspiracy theories and readers' imaginations worldwide. Named The Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process, the document was 29 pages long. It dove into the CIA's investigation of whether hypnosis and mind control could be helpful in the Cold War. The report is quite dense and wordy, going from complex topics like quantum mechanics and neuroscience to a pseudoscience that has, since its release, been debunked. Some people have called it a mind labyrinth, as it goes on to explain scientific underpinnings of some spiritual concepts and space-time transcendence for 24 long pages. It discusses transcendental meditation, hypnosis, biofeedback, universal holograms, and spiritual beliefs. According to the report, the universe comprises of interacting energy fields, and that the mental states are merely energy variations. The human consciousness follows the same principle, being a vibrational energy pattern. Once an individual achieves a state known as hemi-sync, they can enter an altered state of consciousness. In this state, the vibrations of their consciousness are not limited by physical reality. Thus, they can tune into the energy field purely and freely. Some took this report quite literally and thought it to be the basis of the laws of attraction, which states that bad thoughts attract bad outcomes while good thoughts attract good outcomes. Others believe the CIA was investigating the idea of mind warriors that could literally travel through space and time using their mind alone, the applications of which are limitless. As if it wasn't already mysterious enough, the report misses page 25. Ever since its declassification, there have been requests to the CIA to release page 25. However, the CIA denies the existence of this page in the first place. Due to this, the page became the holy grail for conspiracy theorists, curious minds, astral projectors, and pretty much anyone who knew about the report. As interesting and mind-boggling as this report was, the CIA didn't invent the gateway experience. In fact, the report was based on the teachings of Robert Monroe, who's the founder of the Monroe Institute. The Institute emailed news outlet Vice after reading the publication's first article on the Gateway Report, saying that they actually had page 25 in their archives. As it turns out, page 25 of the report discusses the Absolute, which is the universe's governing energy. As per the report, this universal hologram is an endlessly flowing spiral that intervenes with reality as we know it. Whether page 25 was left out on purpose or accidentally, no one really knows. We do know that the Monroe Institute still exists and apparently has exercises to facilitate astral projection. Human beings have been obsessed with UFOs for as long as they've speculated about their existence. However, your story has to be highly credible for it to become the basis of the X-Files. Callie Cale lived in Victoria, Australia with her husband in 1993. One day, she was in her car with her husband driving through the Dandenong Ranges when they saw a blimp-like object flying through the sky. It had a row of 5 or 6 orange lights and made a distinct circular shape. The couple spotted the object a number of times during the night before seeing the object fly off rapidly. What happened next is a complete mystery. Cale felt like her memory went blank, almost like a cut in a movie, when she realised they were several hundred metres down the road with no memory of having travelled the distance. When the couple got home, they noticed that they had lost a full hour. On top of that, Cale had a triangular mark close to her belly button that was quite painful. Undergoing hypnotherapy, she had flashbacks over the coming months, and later went on national television to narrate her story. Cale claims that several alien beings appeared in a field. They had no discernible features aside from bulbous red eyes. They seemed to be able to communicate telepathically. Another car just up the road also pulled over to witness the event. They later corroborated the story, giving further details. They claim they were taken aboard a craft and examined by alien beings. They too claim they had a triangular wound on their lower abdomen following the incident. A Melbourne-based paranormal research group, Phenomena Research Australia, was called in to document the case. A 300-page report was written up detailing the bizarre incident, including interviews from multiple witnesses. Sadly, intergroup politics muddied the case and the report was never released to the public. Many UFO enthusiasts believe that the unreleased report is a golden opportunity gone to waste. In the 2016 X-Files reboot, Fox Mulder himself referenced this historic case. Interestingly, I was just looking at the map of where this allegedly took place, and it's only 20 minutes from where I currently live. Maybe one day we'll do a live stream from the exact location where this now infamous alien encounter took place. Been having any weird dreams lately? Maybe it's this man paying you a visit in your dreams. This man is apparently a man who multiple people have repeatedly seen in their dreams since 2006. Andrea Natella, an Italian marketer, made a website in 2008 called Ever Dream This Man that took the internet by storm, as many people claim to have seen the man in their dreams. However, despite so many people dreaming about him, no one could find the actual person. This man first surfaced when a woman told her psychiatrist that she kept seeing a man in her dreams. The psychiatrist sketched the man. Later, one of his male patients saw the drawing and claimed he too had seen the man while dreaming. Interestingly, none of them had actually ever seen the man in real life. Upon this interesting revelation, the psychiatrist sent the drawing to his colleagues who had patients with repeated dreams. Patients of 4 of the psychiatrist's colleagues recognized the man as the person they kept seeing in their dreams. When the story went viral in 2009, over 2,000 people from all over the world claimed to have seen the man in their dreams. People from New Delhi, Paris, Dubai, Manila, Stockholm, Amman, Rome, Berlin, and many other cities identified this man from their dreams. The dreams were spread over an interestingly expansive spectrum. While some people experienced romantic and even sexual closeness to the man, others were in deadly situations with him. In an interview with news outlet Vice, Andrea Natella said that he dreamt about this man for the first time in 2008. It was on this man's instructions that he made a website to identify him. However, no human looking like this man has ever been found. Natella's website, thisman.org, presents the following theories to explain this occurrence. Carl Jung, a psychoanalyst and psychiatrist, provided the concept of an archetypal image of the unconscious mind that people see in difficult times of their lives. This man could be an example of an archetype. Another theory was that the man could be a godly manifestation. Perhaps some corporation was conditioning people mentally to dream about the same person. Some people only had dreams of this man after they had seen his picture online or heard about him from others. It's difficult for people to remember the faces of those they dream about, so people may have been inaccurately describing the man in their dreams as Natella's this man. However, just as the story hit fever pitch, it was discovered that thisman.org was linked to a website called guerrillamarketing.it, a fake marketing agency known to pull large-scale hoaxes. And while this man was outed as a publicity stunt, it was never explicitly linked to a product or service, which chalked it up as a sort of marketing experiment. In 2010, a production company purchased the rights to the This Man IP, and plans for a feature-length movie were announced. However, there's been no announcement since. Before we take a look at the legend of the melon heads, remember to hit that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our mysterious and scary videos.
Day 475. I'm still in the basement. Today I had to eat an old boot for sustenance. Pray for me.
Derived from American folklore, the story of the melon heads is known all over Connecticut, Michigan, and Ohio. According to urban legend, melon heads are tiny humans with giant bulbous melon-like heads that roam around the states attacking people, especially around Halloween. In Michigan, the melon heads are said to live near Felt Mansion and have also been seen in the wilderness surrounding Ottawa County. Different sources attribute the origin of melon heads to various reasons and entities. One story narrates that melon heads were actually kids suffering from hydrocephalus, a condition in which cerebrospinal fluids fill the brain, putting pressure on the skull. Initially, according to the legends, these children were kept in the Junction Insane Asylum, which is in close proximity to the Felt Mansion. During their stay at the asylum, the children were physically and emotionally abused, leading them to become feral. It's said that they fled to the forests around the asylum and are said to still reside there. However, the Allegan County Historical Society denies the presence of any asylum in that area ever, although the land was once a prison. Another story says that these children lived in the Felt Mansion and plotted to kill the doctor responsible for abusing them. Local teenagers still hang out near Felt Mansion and have reported seeing the melon heads, calling them wobbleheads. Visitors to the area have also reported seeing curtains move in empty old buildings and strange noises coming from the rooms, such as footsteps and heavy breathing. In Ohio, melonheads are said to live in Kirtland. The local law narrates that a mysterious doctor named Dr. Crow or Dr. Melonhead used to perform unusual experiments on children. As a result, the children developed malformed bodies and abnormally large heads. Upon suffering this abuse, the melonheads killed the doctor and burned the orphanage down. There's even a 2010 horror movie called The Legend of Melonheads based in the Kirtland suburbs. Meanwhile, melonheads seem to be as far spread out as Connecticut, sighted in New Haven County, Fairfield County, Western, Eastern, Stratford, Monroe, and Shelton. It's interesting that the myth is so pervasive and has spread around the United States, linked by uncanny details. As with most urban legends, it's difficult to point to one exact incident as the nucleus of the tale. So is there a strand of truth that runs through these tales to spark the legend in the first place? Could the melonheads really be out there, lurking in the woods? Now, if you want to see some more freaky clips, then check out that link on the top there. Otherwise, we have these giant paranormal playlists right there for you to binge on. Now, if you want to get your name scrolling along the top there, consider supporting our Patreon campaign. There's a link in the description box below. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.